5-minute review, just a bite-sized chunk to help you understand what the game is and whether you might like it or not. Hashtag no spoilers. The Witcher 3 is a big, open world RPG, and it is big. Each of these areas opening up into huge sub-maps as you travel across the world. And once you've explored the map, you can see how much stuff there is to do in this game. The game is around the 60-hour mark, but if you wanted to explore everything, you could easily double that number. And with the 2 expansions as well, which are great, adding about 40 hours of gameplay. As you ride around, picking up quests from notice boards, you then go out and use your Witcher senses to track down the town's rascals. And it's really cool. Sometimes the rascals can turn into vampires or be werewolves and stuff, and you just never know what you're really going to get. But you can decide whether you want to turn them in or let them go. And this poor wee rascals, he's getting a wee hanging. But the choices you do make in the game make a difference, and you feel like you're in control. As you head out into the world of monster hunting, you'll be tracking monsters and then letting Geralt CSI the evidence left behind, which gives you a really good sense of what happened, not through a cheap flashback, but he tells the story and you build the picture up in your own imagination, which is always better. The beasts keep getting bigger and better, and it just keeps you hooked. Oh yeah, and there's sexy bits. Hashtag no spoilers, this is literally the first scene in the game. And then of course, there's Gwent. It's just recently got its own standalone game, and I thought it was really good fun. Good way to break up the violence and mayhem of the rest of the game. Just sitting back having a nice relaxing bit of Gwent. It all takes place in this dark, twisted fantasy world. The world itself is beautiful and keeps wanting you to explore, if it's just hopping on a boat and exploring the coast, or just being on a hilltop and seeing a castle and being like, why not? The creature design is incredible. There are different twists on classic monsters like vampires and werewolves, and there's some really cool unique monsters that I've never seen before. And as you go through the world, you hear from the peasants and you get snippets of what they'll be like, or you'll track it and see how big its footprints are, and they all build the excitement where you're about to fight and you never know what's going to jump out at you. This is the first Witcher I've played. You don't need to play any of the others. It would probably give you a bit more background on some of the characters, but there's so much character development in this game. By the end, you know everyone. The main story is amazing, dark, funny, and just experience it for yourself. But there's so many undiscovered locations on the map as well, found from notice boards or talking to peasants, and these can lead to treasure or can even start you off on a side quest. And these side quests can really expand out into big strings of plot, and you really never know when you're going to get your next slice of story. The combat in the game is great. It's all about timing your dodges and hacking through horrible monsters, and when you time it right and you start to behead and dismember groups of drowners, it feels so satisfying. You can also use the environment like explosive barrels, wasps or poison gases to help you succeed. As you track the big targets in the game, you learn about their weaknesses, and you have to gather herbs to make potions or buy ingredients to make bombs, and you have to learn what magic is best against it to help you battle the beast. And even the skill tree, there's only so many slots in the skill tree, so this means that you have to change what skills you're using depending on what you're fighting. So maybe you need to be a little bit faster, or maybe you need to be doing a little bit more damage. I think it's good to push yourself in the difficulty, maybe do 1 up from what you'd usually do. This means when you get to those big creatures, they're so tough, and it means that you have to really use their weaknesses and really think about how you're going to battle them, and you have to use all that in-game utility to help you win. The game it's most like to me is Fable. Back in the day, Fable was an amazing game, but when you played it, it blew your mind how they can have so many elements in the game. And The Witcher is like a huge massive update to the new generation. It has that same sort of humor mixed with the visceral kills, brought together with all the customization and story and plot. The Witcher 3 is a top tier RPG. The dark fantasy and all that mythos, I think, works great and makes it better than something like Fallout. Just, the amazing creature design in The Witcher, rather than just everything being slightly mutated versions of something else. And the combat in it, I think, is better than something like Oblivion, where you feel really detached from what you're fighting. But in The Witcher, you really feel like you've got to be jumping and dodging out of the way, and it's a solid 5 out of 5, and couldn't recommend it enough.